Hallo, willkommen zu Tag 4 unseres 5-Tage-Video-Seminars. Alright, I switched back to English, but I guess you understood this first sentence already. Well, yesterday you've learned how colors could help us to learn different cases in connection with prepositions, okay? We used the color red for the dative case and the color blue for the accusative case, and we connected this with a learning problem of prepositions. Today we're gonna go a step further and I'll show you a technique to create our first image, which will help us to learn a certain kind of subjunctions. This is really a huge step further, and I hope you enjoy day 4, and I'm curious what you think about it. So, enjoy! Hey, welcome, it's Peter again. So again we start with our little image we are already very familiar with. Just to demonstrate you again and to enhance how important it is to centralize our content we want to learn. So let's go ahead to the next step. Today I want to show you the second method of centralizing, which I call the method of mnemonic pictograms. Well, what does that mean? Today I'm going to show you how you can wrap up certain chunks which use the same grammar rules in just one little image. So you can learn everything by just one site. Okay, let's have a look. You also already know this set of images. You've learned that in German we have so-called subjunctions, which you see here. I repeat them for you again. This is weil, so because in English, als is as, indirekte W-Fragen is indirect questions. W-Fragen are all questioning pronouns in German that start with the letter W, such as wenn, wann, wo, and so on. So this is ob is if, and obwohl although. Das is that, damit is so that, wenn is again if or when in English. So these are all subjunctions. That means we need them to start a subordinate clause. And additionally, we need the information. We need to know that when we build a subordinate clause, the verb goes to the end of the subordinate clause. For example, I'm curious if he will come over tonight. In German you would say, ich bin neugierig, or ich frage mich, I wonder why, I wonder if, ich frage mich, ob heute vorbeikommen wird. So the verb is at the end of the subordinate clause. And this rule you have to learn with all these words. So let's have a look how we can deal with this problem. Here our subjunctions are again, and we just start with the first letter of every subjunctions. Here are the 3 W's, which represent the 3 kinds of subjunctions. So we take an O for ob and obwohl, the D for das and damit, and an A for als. So now have a look what kind of magic is going on here. Do you recognize, do you see what this is? I'm gonna help you a little. So now you can see it's a little bird, right? It's a nice, neat little birdie. And I call this the Nebensatzvogel. As you can read here, Nebensatzvogel, which is just subordinate clause, bird. So, and we are going to have a look again, where are the hidden subjunctions here. The beak is weil, the head is ob or obwohl, the wing is a W for when, and the tail is the indirect, represents the indirect W questions, as you call them in German. The legs consists of the letter A for als, and the body is a D as in das or damit. And there comes another rule with it. This is a little comma. That means all those subordinate clauses are separated with a comma. We use a comma when we use subordinate clauses to separate them from the main clause. All right. Now we're gonna add two rules to this. One you've already heard. It's Nebensätze werden mit Komma abgetrennt, which means subordinate clauses use a comma. And the next rule we're gonna learn by telling a little story, a very short micro story. Der Nebensatzvogel fliegt mit dem Verb an Satzende, which means the subordinate clause bird, or you might just call it subordinate bird, flies with the verb to the end of the subordinate clause. So really try to imagine this scene. The little guy picks up the verb with its beak and flies to the end of the sentence. This is a very, very important rule you have to remember. The verb is at the end of subordinate clauses. So now, I strongly recommend you press the pause button now and try to draw this bird until you can do the entire thing without any error, without any mistake. If you make a mistake, throw it away and just start from scratch again until you manage it to paint the entire thing with subjunctions just out of your memory. Try to do this now, please, and only go ahead watching after you're finished. Okay, I'll be here waiting for you. Alright, I hope you followed my advice and I hope you managed to draw the little bird all the way through without an error. So, this was it for today. Tomorrow is already our last day, but it's gonna be another highlight, a real highlight. I'm going to show you the third method of centralizing. It's called interactive memory images or interactive mnemonic images. So erleben Sie eine wahre Lernrevolution. This is the way you will really experience a revolution in learning. So it sounds like a really huge thing and I promise you are going to love it. So thanks for watching today. I'll be waiting for you tomorrow. Bye bye, this was Peter.